For the Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy is his name. His mercy extends to those who fear him from generation to generation. He has performed mighty deeds with his arm. He has scattered those who are proud in their inmost thoughts. Goes back to the heart. Yeah. For God to shine through our lives, do the miracles in our lives, we need to humble ourselves, accept where we are, and be willing to work. I don't think that it's the unbelief and the doubt that makes God really mad, but it's our attitude about it. Like, we recognize the unbelief, and when we do have unbelief, we need to lift up to him and say, Lord, this is how I feel about it.
Right.
I have difficulty believing, but I know the truth is here, is in the word, it's not in my feelings. Help me believe.
Is to be like, Lord, I believe in you, but there are parts of me that don't believe you, and I want to fix that.
Great. So if I have difficulty believing in your blessing in my life, it's my difficulty.
Yeah.
And so, Lord, because I know the truth, forgive me for my unbelief. Help me believe.
Yeah.
And I think that's totally good with the Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is exactly in the Gospel of Mark. He says, I don't remember exactly what the passage was.
I don't remember either.
It's so bad. But, so this is very humbling. But he says, Lord, I believe. Help me with my unbelief. And what did Jesus do?
He blesses him, right?
He blesses him. He wasn't like, well, when you believe, I'll bless you. No, he blessed him.
It really does come back to your heart attitude, because if you get the blessing from the Lord and you have the right heart attitude, a lot of times it will help your faith. In the New Testament, he's talking to Christians and he's addressing some problems in the church in Jerusalem. And he says, you do not have what you want because you do not ask for it. And then he says, when you do ask, you still don't get it because you ask wrongly to spend it on your passions, right?
Right.
Because earlier in the letter, he says it's James 1:5, he talks about wisdom. It says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask the Lord and he will give it to him, right?
Freely, yeah.
Freely, right?
Yeah.
And so God gives, but a lot of times we ask God for things or we just don't ask, right? So James says either you're not asking or you're asking from the wrong motive. But if you're asking and you're asking from the right motive, man, God will provide.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And when I ask the Lord to help me with those areas that I have unbelief, I say, Lord, not only because I want the blessing, because obviously I do,
right?
But I want to get to know you more.
Right.
I will know more of you.
Yeah. Regardless of where you stand, have the right heart posture before God. Have the right attitude.
You don't have to feel some way or get to a certain point. It's just saying, Lord, your word is true.
Yeah.
I trust you. I choose to trust you.
Yeah.
I choose to trust you.
Yeah.
Right? But this is what I'm feeling right now. I feel that I can't trust you, or I feel afraid of you, or I feel unbelief. So help me.
Yeah.
Help me. It's just having that humility to say, this is what's happening. He knows already.
Yeah.
The prayer is relational. It's not to inform him, because he knows what you're feeling better than you are.
Yeah.
Right? But it's just that humility. He wants to be close.
Yeah. Whether you know much or you know little, to have the right heart posture and to have the right attitude before the Lord, and he will bless you.
That is so awesome.
Well, great. Good. So a lot of blessing. We've talked a lot. I think Mary's song comprehensively is a good reminder that the Lord does bless and that we should recognize that.
Yeah.
But also to remember that the Lord has not promised blessing. The only blessings he's promised are the ones that he's promised, at the risk of being redundant, right? So eternal life to everyone who believes, that's a promise, right? A nice car, that's not a promise. So but Mary's song is fantastic. She turns the attention back to God. It's called the Magnificat because she magnifies the Lord in this song. And I think that's a good takeaway for all of us in life, just to make our lives a magnifying glass.
A magnifying glass.
For God.
Yeah. And use the blessings to do that too.